Hi, I'm Charlie Goldbatt. I'm a graduating student from Photo Art at Newport.
I'm Louise Gibbs. I'm also graduating from Photo Art at Newport.
So we're here in Germany. We've been here for a week now, and at the beginning of the week we took part in a workshop exploring new ways of displaying photography in the gallery. So started on Sunday with speed dating.
It took 8 hours.
8 hours, so it really wasn't speed dating, it was just dating.
Just as a way of discussing the work, really, that everyone was doing to get a sense of what people from different universities are doing.
Yeah.
Probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
People from 4 different universities.
There's the, I'm not sure of the names, but the University of Essen, photography department there, is it Dortmund University, and also the Rietveld-Akademie in Amsterdam. 4 students from each, 3 from Amsterdam, but 4 students from each coming together for this workshop. And they pretty much threw us in on Monday into this room, which was a classroom basically.
Which was going to be the exhibition space.
Yes, the plan was to create an exhibition with the 14 photographers or 15 photographers' work to come up with a new way of exhibiting photography. So that was an interesting experience. We sort of went through various phases of being really excited and then really sort of downhearted and really angry. Because obviously you've got 14 very different personalities trying to come to one successful outcome. So towards the middle of the week we sort of went down into chaos and really didn't know what was happening, but we sort of came out of that with quite an interesting show which opened on Thursday. We had a talk with curators and gallerists, I think, which was really interesting and sort of gave the idea across. And then a public opening later, which was really well attended actually.
Yes, surprisingly so.
Surprisingly so.
But sort of through the experience we realised that each university has sort of been told a different thing about what to expect. So for instance we'd made a newspaper to bring with us as a means of displaying our work in a different method, which ultimately wasn't used. Well, we've given
We've
out.
since given out almost 300.
Yes.
But
it wasn't used in the actual exhibition. And other people came with prints or different things really. I think we all sort of realised fairly early on that it wasn't going to be a standard exhibition, that we hadn't come there to sort of put together a white cube, really nicely presented exhibition, but to try and do something different.
The outcome was an exhibition decided by dice and mathematics, and it sounds very arty and conceptual, but we actually divided the wall into grids, and by use of 2 dice decided on the size of the print, the position of the print on the wall, and along an X and a Y axis. I think that was sort of the basics of it.
Yeah, we went through a series of rolling the dice.
For each. Oh, it also chose which
things.
picture was chosen for that round, if you like. So
yes, we weren't playing with their own pictures.
Yeah. And the outcome was this. The result was authorship of the images was lost, but as a group exhibition, I think it worked very well.
Because of not having any control of where the images were going, we ended up with images on top of each other, or sort of
hidden behind others. So in the end, it was down to the viewer to make their own juxtapositions and relationships between the images, which we could never have done having looked at the 14 different images.
Yeah, I think the only way for us to put it together was to sort of use sort of authorship of the work, or sort of our own egos really, was to sort of produce something that worked, was to sort of just treat them as, well, not even images really.
Yeah, very
just
aestheticised.
Things to put together, I guess.
Yeah. So, I think the outcome was actually better than we expected. Having cleared the workshop space and stood back and looking at these images working together, I think we were actually pleasantly surprised with the outcome.
Yeah, because I think most people were concerned about it. Sort of, it was quite a stressful process, I think, trying to put it together.
Yeah.
people weren't really sure how it was going to go, because we were trying to be sort of very democratic about the way we did it, which
a lot of voting
didn't always work.
Voting, which in the end just got revoked and starting again. So
yeah. I think it's actually been really interesting seeing the different students and going to different universities and seeing how their courses work, because they're quite different to ours, and sort of seeing their facilities and what sort of backgrounds they come from. For instance, some universities like people from Amsterdam their work doesn't seem to base so much on theory, it's almost sort of just doing things, which I think is quite different to our course. We've seen some amazing dark rooms, which are very nice.
I think leading on from that, the sort of emphasis of this week has been photography in institutional form, so teaching photography, which is the symposium we're currently at. Getting an idea of how photography has been taught in these 3 other institutions, and now getting a view from lecturers of further afield colleges and stuff, for 2 people who are sort of very interested in possibly pursuing that. I think that's possibly been the most, but so to say all of it, but the focus on the teaching of photography has probably been really valuable for me. The most recent one we had was a very conceptual form of teaching, and the work was sort of strikingly different from the rest that was produced, which has thrown everything before that talk into context. And the guy before that sort of discussed teaching photography or teaching photographers. So I think it depends on the student and what they're willing to get out of it, rather than the institution. I think you can teach it, but it's completely dependent on the students.
You can just teach it to anyone.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone who's got the interest to want to do that in the first place. But I suppose to an extent you can say that about most subjects.
Yeah, exactly.